This is Football Night in America, presented by Progressive.
Divisional Sunday, Ford Field in Detroit. Buccaneers and Lions moments ago. Jared Goff onto the field.
The man of the town right now, Jared Goff.
On the other side, Baker Mayfield got the Matt Stafford treatment. Booze all around.
To be expected.
Buccaneers and Lions, it is Divisional Sunday. Hello, everyone. So glad you're here with us. Ahmed Fareed, Chris Sims, Devin McCourty, Jason Garrett. We don't know who's going to win tonight, but what we do know is this place is going to be electric.
And it was electric last week, and it's going to be important for Detroit. Last week you had Stafford coming back. It's kind of easy to bring that energy. They need to refuel that tank and be ready to go today.
Hey, Dev, Dan Campbell has built the kind of team he wants to coach. Guys who love ball, they want to be part of a team. They're smart, they're tough, they're disciplined, and they fight.
Yes.
They got that Detroit 3-1-3 grit. The reflection of their coach, they play the game the right way.
Let's talk about some quarterbacks, okay? Jared Goff is the man of the hour. The thing, you think his chip is gone off his shoulder from last week because he beat the Rams? No, it's not. He's as chippy as ever, and for a group that has not been to the playoffs a lot, his leadership, I think, is crucial for this game and getting this team ready. Baker Mayfield, on the other hand, had a chance to talk to him in the pregame. One thing he said, Devin, off of your point, the crowd noise, going to be a little conservative early, try to limit the negative plays. I think you'll see that approach from the Bucs early on, Ahmed.
This is what I like about being here. Number one, because it's an awesome atmosphere, but you talked to both quarterbacks. We got Jack, Tony, Rodney here. They're on the field. They talked to some of the players and coaches, too. It is already electric inside Ford Field. Players on the field. Football night in America, playoff style.
You're not from Detroit. You don't understand the football culture here. You got to respect 3-1-3 football.
Were you thinking playoffs when the season started?
We were thinking maybe 6 games.
We are the underdogs, and we love being the underdogs.
We're going to kick you in the teeth, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
The attitude that Dan Campbell brought is like the attitude of the city. Not everybody want to bite a kneecap.
How did that hit you guys when he said that?
I was hungry. I wanted a kneecap. It was time to eat.
Tell me about Coach Bowles. What was the talk in here in the shop?
In the shop, he was on the hot seat.
He was on the
shop. He was going to get fired.
He's going to be sacked for a safety.
And we know defense win championships, right?
Yes.
I heard that somewhere.
Yeah. It's called a cover 2.
What a night. Celebrate, boys.
What were you guys feeling last Sunday?
That was something I thought I would never see.
How was the shop on Monday?
slow.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that they're more worried about us than we're worried about them.
Yeah.
What do we need to tell those guys in that barbershop?
Tell me I had a good season.
With us winning, the whole city, everybody's happy.
We're going to trim the lines the same way Ben trimming my hair right now.
Jack, I live in Tampa. I take my boys to Foster's Barbershop. I remember being a little kid, my dad taking me to the barbershop, talking about the Lions, Alex Karras, Night Train Lane. It's so important, Rodney, for the team to connect with the community, and they've done that here. Brad Holmes, the GM, Dan Campbell, the coach, they brought a winning team, and it's been awesome.
Coach, the community is fine, but I remember them connecting with the community, and they were 0-16. The biggest difference is you talked about general manager Brad Holmes. He brought in a lot of talent. You look at the offensive line, you look at Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they have some legitimate talent. You look on the defensive side of the ball, Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch, these guys are bona fide, great football players, and that's been the biggest difference with Detroit Lions.
And there is no question this is Detroit's team. The city loves them.
They built a team that reflects this city. It is time now for Barry's Bet, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew, it's been St. Brown. It's been your ride or die. How do you see it?
Yeah, obviously, I started the year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's my ride or die. I'm going to end the year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ride or die means ride or die. Listen, he's been awesome all year long, especially at home where he's hit this number in every game but one. He's matchup proof, but get what? The matchup is great here. Buccaneers give up the second most yards in the slot. Give me the over on Amon-Ra St. Brown's receiving yards today. Ride or die, baby.
All right, Matthew, over on the other side, Evans getting set. It's about a half hour till kickoff. Playoff football coming up from Detroit, Michigan.
It was earlier this season, Baker Mayfield was asked about being a Buc, said he's having fun again. Reminds him of his days at Oklahoma. This is a whole lot of fun here today inside of Ford Field with Jared Goff. Over the last 2 seasons has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's go on the field. Brought to you by Progressive. Tony Rodney, a 0 in on the running game for the Lions, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is a special back. He's a special talent coach. And talking to the Bucs, they said, hey, this guy at any point in time, he can break it. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, but they have not seen this type of speed from this guy.
Yeah, Gibbs did not play in the first game, and he's going to bring something that was missing in that first game for the Lions offense. That's perimeter running, great speed.
Offensive line, guys. That's where I'm looking at right here. We know the Detroit Lions, right? A great unit they have there. The Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, famous for all the blitzes. That's the thing I look at today that's going to dictate how this game goes, Devin. We know they got a good O-line. Jared Goff's been around. They understand how to pick up the blitz, but Todd Bowles is a big believer in making the quarterback uncomfortable.
And they're going to need communication because it's going to be different guys in that front trying to cause disruption and blitzing. And Jason, you're going to see they're going to do things to counteract it.
No doubt. The best thing that Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, does, he mixes his protection. 5-man, 6-man, 7-man. They sprint out, they're moving. There's a lot of variety that's going to combat it. Very effective the first time they played in week 6. That's going to be the question in this game for Detroit's
Agreed.
offense.
I think you're going to see Jared Goff change protections, maybe get to a screen pass or two like we saw to combat that blitz.
Yeah, and the Lions defensive line coach, offensive line coach told me that they've been working together. They're comfortable with one another. They feel very comfortable picking up
the blitz. Man, I hear you.
They better be.
The pressures are coming.
And I'm really excited about seeing Antoine Winfield. I thought he was the best safety in the National Football League. You look at the numbers that he put up, over 120 tackles, 6 sacks, and he led his team with 3 interceptions. Every week I'm looking up, I'm seeing him do something special on the football field.
Go ahead and say it, Ronnie. It's disrespectful. He's not a Pro Bowler. It's crazy. But talking to him before the game, he's not worried about any of that. He was out here barefoot, getting connected to the ground, talked about it, calms him down, gets him ready to go, and I'm excited to see him today.
And one of the challenges that Winfield's going to have is the Detroit tight end, the rookie, Sam Laporta, 10 touchdowns. I believe deep down, along with Amon-Ra St. Brown, that he's Goff's favorite target. He's a very good route runner. He's mature. When they get down in the red zone, they're going to throw it to 87.
And he's big, too.
You love Houston Laporta.
He does.
Yes, he does.
As you guys just showed us, there are dudes all over the field for both teams, one including Aiden Hutchinson, been on another level for Detroit. 7 sacks his last 3 games. He sat down with Mike Tirico this week, and being Michigan through and through, knows all about what the Lions' rebirth means to his home state.
My family and I, we've been talking about just the state of Michigan right now, winning the Natty, and if we make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, this might go down as one of the greatest year for sports in Michigan, and people can have something to just hold on to and embrace.
And you were the little kid who had the Stafford jersey and the Calvin Johnson jersey, and there's Calvin on the sideline, and there's you sacking Stafford.
What world do I live in where, you know, you grow up watching these guys and I get to hit Stafford, dap up Calvin, Barry's out there. It's unbelievable.
This is for the city. So if you meet somebody from Michigan, always the tip is where you're from and you flash the mitten.
That's right. That's right.
So can you show on the mitten where you went to high school, where you went to college, and where you play in the NFL?
Yeah, it's all just right, right there, about 20 minutes away from each other in a little triangle.
Isn't that crazy to get on the same highway and you're doing this thing?
I think about it every day. I passed the old exit I used to take to get to my high school, and it's weird.
The whole community, even beyond Divine Child, is excited, you know, a hometown kid to play for this team. And there's not an 8th grader that shadows through Divine Child that sees me that doesn't ask about Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden, you may have all the fans in the world, but you know that your Falcon family will always be here to be proud of you, to support you, and the entire Lions team.
I've been watching you when you were here at Divine Child, when you went through Michigan. You should be so proud of where you are. We love you and support you.
Oh my God.
How does that make you feel about the impact you've had on so many people with your ability to play?
It's really so surreal. Even when I see the outpouring of all the support now, you kind of just keep moving forward through it all. But I think when you look back at videos like that, you really understand the impact you made on people. It's really a beauty of a thing.
How does it hit you differently because you were in those stands as a kid? You were one of these fans?
It's unbelievable. Growing up with just the same old Lions phrase, we're breaking those old phrases and we're creating new phrases. And a lot of the little kids growing up are seeing these Lions that we have right now, and they get to grow up with this and what we're going to have for years.
Thanks for your continued support and cooperation.
No doubt, that's a great piece. But, Coach, once again, it comes down to players. And it's not like he has another guy on the opposite side of him that create that pressure, Chris Sims. He's going to have to make a couple game-changing plays. If not, Aaron Glenn, the defense coordinator, he's going to have to blitz and come after him.
Agreed. I think he's the one guy we all look at and go, he can change the game. He's the one blue-chip superstar player on the Detroit front seven, and he could be incredibly instinctive, but get that strip sack fumble or a big play to get them an extra possession.
He has been huge the last couple of weeks, including last week right here in this building against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Time now for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3 play. Matthew hit a couple of parlays last week. Congratulations. What do you got for today?
Thank you very much. Let's try to keep it hot here. Buccaneers are almost a touchdown underdog, so I think they're going to be throwing, and why wouldn't they? Lions have given up over 300 passing yards in 4 straight games, including to Nick Mullins twice. So give me the over on Baker Mayfield's passing yards. And if he's throwing, who's he throwing to? Mike Evans. Detroit gave up the 3rd most yards to wide receivers during the regular season. He's not going to have bad drops again. Big game coming for Evans. I took an all-line 80 receiving yards. If they're throwing, that's because they're not running. No one runs on them. Not a single running back has gotten to at least 70 rushing yards against the Lions this season. So give me the under on an alt-line for Rashad White's rushing yards. Baker, Evans, and Rashad. That's my DraftKings 3 play. Don't forget, on DraftKings Sportsbook during the playoffs, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every single day. Just download the app. Use promo code SNF when you sign up. It's DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. I'm in.
All right, thank you, Matthew. 26 minutes till kickoff. Motor City, motored up for playoff football.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Progressive, the right call to protect your home and car. By DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And by Ford, rooting for another historic win from the home team.
25 years these teams shared a division. Tony, Barry Sanders actually ran for more yards against the Bucs than any other team. I don't know why we're showing this. I do know, though, that you got your revenge in 1997.
Yeah, the last time we played them in a playoff game, we had to stop Barry. And it was no picnic, I'll tell you that.
All right, more on that in a bit. Dan Campbell, the leader of men for this Detroit Lions team right now. Problem is, you have a successful team, you might lose some of your coordinators. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson in the discussion for a head coaching job. Let's welcome in Mike Florio. Mike, what's the latest on that?
Well, Ben Johnson had 4 virtual interviews over Friday and Saturday as he continues to be one of the hot names in the ongoing coaching carousel. There are many in league circles that believe he's the favorite to become the next head coach of the Washington Commanders. The Commanders would say that's not true, at least not yet. Plenty of other candidates that they're looking at, including first-year offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. He was there in the old regime. He has interviewed for the job. He is regarded as a viable candidate along with many others. And Bieniemy has been a candidate several years in the past when he was the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs. This is the first time his name's come up this year. It might not be the last.
Well, I can tell you what, this is the second time this season that Johnson will be calling plays against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. We look back to the best of Week 6 brought to you by Toyota. And Jason, it went pretty well for the quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
It sure did. Goff was fantastic. He threw for 353 in this game, and they didn't run the ball effectively at all, so it was all on him. He was efficient, very good on 3rd down. He made some big plays down the field as well.
They can attack you any which way on the offensive side of the ball. We talked about their O-line, their run game. Their receivers are really well-rounded in all facets of the offensive side of the ball. You see Craig Reynolds here. I mean, what a block to spring Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? But they are a complete offense, and they make defenses think a lot to defend them.
Carlton Davis better see that block today if that's going to happen. But how about this Detroit Lions defense? This game was so dominant for Detroit because of what they did. You talk about only giving up 6 points, and I thought this interception, this tipped interception, was a turning point because Mike Evans was
wide open, touchdown.
Score a touchdown.
Right.
So credit this Detroit Lions defense for coming out. They're going to have to do it again.
So that was the best of Week 6, brought to you by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Baker did not throw a touchdown in that game, but recently has been playing some of his best football of his career. He talked about his journey to Tampa with Rodney.
4 teams in 20 months. Was there ever a point or a moment that you said, well, maybe, I'm losing a little confidence, or maybe this is not right for me?
There was definitely times where I lost confidence, where I had to take a step back, look in the mirror, and think about, am I doing something wrong here? What can I do to fix some things? And just about having fun playing football again.
Do you feel like everywhere you've been able to be yourself?
This is definitely the most comfortable I've ever been. Part of that comes with the experience and learning the lessons that I've had to go through along the way, and then you're able to feel comfortable in some uncomfortable situations later on.
Best way to describe Bake.
I think his personality just kind of thrived here.
Baker is tough. Puts everybody else before himself.
Chippy.
After talking to your teammates, the level of respect and love that they have for you, what does that mean to you?
That means everything to me, because I try and be as authentic as I can and wear my emotions, what I'm thinking, everything on my sleeve. That's truly what you want to strive for, being a captain, being a leader, is to have that respect and have that love for your teammates, and it's definitely reciprocated for me. Everybody should do it in their own way, and I think that's the best thing about sports and leadership is do it in your own way.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson talking a little trash.
Gardner-Johnson said this would be a good luster if they had a start quarterback. What do you got to say about that?
I don't think he's really watched film. He's a good player, but yeah, he's got to do a little bit more film study.
Do you take that personally?
Me having little man syndrome, absolutely, I take it a little personal. But it's a competitive sport, so the back and forth is always fun, but you don't get too caught up in it.
And most guys lose confidence and too prideful to admit that they lost confidence, but this is a guy, he's not afraid to show his vulnerability, and that's a big reason why his teammates trust and believe in him.
Yeah, they love him. I live down there. I hear the vibe. This is definitely Baker Mayfield's team. Now, in that first game, the guys talked about how he didn't have a great game. They didn't put up a lot of points. He had some opportunities. He had some deep shots. Assistant coach, offensive coordinator Dave Canales told me they are going to take some deep shots tonight.
I was talking to a few of Baker's offensive linemen. He said, when Tom Brady left, they're going, who's the new leader? Who are we going to get behind? And Baker Mayfield gave him that immediate answer. It's a success. Why they've been so successful.
Baker doesn't carry himself like a superstar quarterback. He carries himself like he's an offensive lineman. He just wants to be one of the guys.
Now, you ask him if he took that personally. He told me on the field he's got that quote taped in the locker right now.
Yes, yes.
Well, this was the loudest building we've been to all year long. Last week, they're running it back. NBC, you see what it means on that side. About 15 till kickoff.
How hungry are these fans here in Detroit? They have been hanging out inside the building for about an hour and a half. They paid upwards of $1,200 midweek for some of these tickets. So, guys, final thoughts. Kickoff's just a few moments away.
Tampa Bay matches up well with Detroit.
Right.
They stop the run. They pressure the quarterback. They have big-time receivers outside. This place is about to explode. It's a tough environment to come into, but they match up well with this Lions team.
They do. They match up well. The thing I'm looking for, Todd Bowles, the blitzer, right? He's famous around football. If I'm him in this one, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator of the Lions, too good. Jared Goff, too smart. I would pull the okey-doke, throw a curveball. Don't blitz and be over-aggressive.
It's funny you say that. When we played Jared Goff in the Super Bowl 53, we limited the amount of times we blitzed because we believed the scheme and Goff would figure it out. So Tampa may be able to sprinkle the blitz in, but just do it at the right time.
All right, Jack, over to you guys.
All right, fellas, with kickoff moments away. What is it that decides this game tonight?
I'm looking at the Detroit Lions offensive line. They have to continue to lean on that offensive line. Run the football. This is a fast, aggressive linebacker group. They love running sideline to sideline. Run the ball downhill, then you can set up the play action passes.
Well, the guys at the desk think Todd Bowles might be a little less aggressive and dial back. I think just the opposite. He's going to be aggressive, bringing them blitz. And he told me last night, if they win the toss, he's taking the ball because he wants his offense to be aggressive right off the bat.
And I'm looking at both of these defenses. Tackling and communication is huge.
Time for those picks. It's time now for the home team picks, brought to you by Lowe's. 74% of the country likes the Lions. There has been a special energy with this team, even going back to opening night when they beat Kansas City, and they continue to elevate. I like the Lions.
I like the Lions, too. I think this is a better football team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think offensively, they're going to run the football, and I think they're going to come up with some big plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, which defense can make the quarterback uncomfortable and which quarterback can hit the big plays? I'm taking the Lions in a high-scoring, close game.
All right, Barry, Florio, who you like?
Listen, it's going to be, can they keep Jared Goff clean? Because when he's got a clean pocket, he's as good as any quarterback in the NFL. I think they'll have an answer for the blitz. Give me the Lions in a close one, Mike Florio.
I think the key is which team does a better job of avoiding 3rd and long. I believe today in this environment, the Lions will do a better job of that. Give me the Lions as well, Ahmed.
Thanks, Mike. Chris, I'll let you kick it off here at the desk.
Well, I think the home team, the Lions expected to be here all year. The Bucs, I don't think expected to be here. They feel like they've been rewarded already. The Lions offense, too well coached, too many good players, too balanced. I'm taking the Lions in a close one.
Michigan native, I did go a little crazy last week, 56-10, so I think the Bucs will keep it close. Lions score a couple late touchdowns, 56-13.
You're funny.
Tough act to follow right there. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going team on the road. I'm going Tampa Bay for an upset. I think the mix, their front,
I hear you.
Different looks. They're going to be a good job, and Tampa's going to do it and win it today.
I can see why. They match up well. Baker Mayfield can get hot. He's got big-time receivers outside. The issue is they don't run the ball very well. Detroit's too balanced. This place is like nothing I've ever seen. I'm going with 3-1-3 grit. Dan Campbell biting kneecaps. I take the Lions.
Baker Mayfield trying to just block it all out. This is going to be good. Those are the home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. We're moments away from kickoff. Bucs and Lions. Winner moves on to visit the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, and Kaylee Hartung have the call. See you at halftime.
This has been Football Night in America, presented by Progressive.